Hello Needham, I'm Mike Levin here to tell you what's happening in town. From special events to ongoing programs, all that and more is right here on the Community Bulletin Board. On Tuesday, November 11th, all non-emergency town offices and facilities, including the recycling and transfer station, will be closed in observance of Veterans Day. The Needham Channel will be on hand at Memorial Park at 11 a.m. to record the ceremony honoring all who served. We'll be airing it later that night and throughout the next month. The Needham Channel and Needham Local are your official source for Needham Rockets varsity fall sports playoffs. You can watch select game broadcasts on the Needham Channel as well as streaming at needhamchannel.org and our Roku app. We'll also have highlights on the Needham Channel News, our YouTube channel, as well as on social media, specifically Instagram and Facebook. Be sure to check out needhamlocal.org as well for game stories and updates from all the fall postseason action. And make sure you sign up for our newsletter as it delivers the top Needham Local headlines, including Needham Rocket Sports, to your email every Monday at 1 p.m. Needham Public Health has a few events to be aware of to be held at Rosemary Recreation Complex. There's hands-only CPR Monday, November 10th from 3 to 4 p.m. at Rosemary. Also, a Heart Saver First Aid, CPR, and AED course Thursdays from 5 to 8:30 p.m. at Rosemary, November 13th and December 4th. For more info, go to the Public Health or Needham Programs websites. The next edition of Wingate Living's Memory Cafe is coming soon. The Memory Cafe welcomes individuals living with memory changes and their care partners. They can connect, share, and enjoy engaging activities together at the Center at the Heights every third Tuesday of the month. The next one is on November 18th from 10 to 10:45 a.m. To RSVP, you can email Nancy Andre, host of Living Your Best Senior Life here on the Needham Channel, at nandrie@wingateliving.com. We're taking a break, but don't go anywhere. The CBB will be right back.
Hello Needham Channel viewers, and welcome back to episode 23 of Real Money Moves. I'm your host Connor Gillen, and today I've got a familiar face joining me. My teammate and colleague Jake Farrell is making his Real Money Moves debut, and we're excited to have him in the studio.
What's going on, everybody? Connor, I gotta tell you, it is an honor to be here. Long time coming. I came in today to discuss a topic that we get asked about all the time, and that is the difference between selling on market versus selling off market, and which one makes the most sense depending on what your real estate goals are.
Yeah, exactly, and there's really no one-size-fits-all solution. Both strategies have their pros and cons, and today we're going to break those down and help buyers and sellers out there figure out which path might work best for them.
Now, what's the difference? Let's start with the basics. Any on-market sale is when your home is publicly listed on MLS. In other words, it's out there for everyone to see. You get the full exposure of being on Zillow, Realtor.com, and any other third-party search sites. And typically you're working with a realtor who provides professional photos, they do open houses, and really any other type of high-level marketing that they feel fit for the property.
Right, and an off-market sale, sometimes called a quiet or a private sale, is when a home changes hands without ever being listed publicly. Maybe it's a seller who wants a certain amount of privacy, or someone testing the waters before officially listing on the open market. The pros of going on market. There's a big upside to going on the open market. Really, it's maximum exposure. More eyeballs typically mean more interest and potentially a higher sale price. In today's market, most buyers start their search online. So when your home is professionally listed, it gets in front of people not just locally, but across the region and even out of state. That digital reach broadcasts your property to a much wider net of buyers, creating more buzz and often stronger offers.
Connor, nicely put in. You know, now we want to get into some of the pros of going off market. So on the flip side of going on market, there are definitely advantages of selling off market. Privacy is a huge one. You know, some sellers, they don't want photos of their home online. Sometimes they don't want their neighbors knowing that they're selling either. And off market can also mean less hassle, right? You don't have to do open houses, no constant showings, And it's often a smoother, more discreet transaction because both parties understand the benefits of engaging in an off-market transaction. And in other words, everyone's on the same page. For buyers, off-market deals can present unique opportunities. The most desirable being that you can eliminate a lot of the competition. You might be the only one at the table, which means you can avoid bidding wars.
Yep.
Right? And that's where having the right connections really matters, because these off-market opportunities usually come through agents with, deep local networks and relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a fantastic point. And to show you the cons and the considerations of going on the market, of course, there are trade-offs. With an off-market sale, you might sacrifice top dollar potential because there are fewer buyers seeing the property. And with an on-market listing, the process can feel a lot more public, like Jake had mentioned. More traffic, more scheduling, and sometimes more stress for the homeowner. It really depends on your timeline, your comfort level, and your goals. That's why we always say, talk to your agent early. We can help you weigh those options and figure out what strategy best fits your situation.
Now, how can we help? Connor and I work both on-market and off-market deals all at the same time. Whether you want full exposure or something more private, we have the systems in place that make it happen seamlessly. So we can quietly market your home to our network of qualified buyers, or we can launch a full-scale campaign if you're ready to go on the open market. And either way, the goal is the same: to get you the best result with the least amount of stress.
So whether you're thinking about selling on the open market or exploring a more private sale, know that there are real benefits to both approaches, and Jake and I are here to help you navigate whichever path makes the most sense for you.
Reach out anytime if you'd like to talk strategy or learn what your home might be worth. We'd love to help you make your next real money move.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 23 of Real Money Moves. If you have any questions about your next step in the market, feel free to reach out to Jake or myself at the contact info on your screen. And if there's a real estate topic you'd like me to cover in the next episode, send me a message at my email, connorgillenrealtor@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from viewers and community members alike. I'm Connor Gillen.
And I'm Jake Farrell.
And we'll see you real soon.
Rotating members of the Select Board host office hours each month to offer residents the opportunity to speak about issues important to them. On Tuesday, November 18th from 6 to 7 p.m. at the Select Board Chambers in Town Hall, Select Board Chair Heidi Frail will be available. For more information, go to the section of the town website posted on your screen. The hours for the RTS are Tuesday through Thursday and Saturday 7 a.m. until 4, as well as Friday 7 to noon. The swap shop opens at 7:30 those same days, closing at 3 Tuesdays through Thursdays, as well as Saturdays. The RTS will be open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. every Sunday in November for leaf collection days. For more info, go to the RTS website. There are several upcoming meetings regarding the Pollard Middle School project. The first is a virtual meeting on Zoom Thursday, November 6th at 6:30 p.m., where preliminary plans will be shared and community members can give their feedback. The next is an open house and Q&A at Pollard on Saturday, November 15th from 9 to 10:30 a.m. Also, on Monday, November 17th at 6:30 p.m., there will be a Zoom public hearing. For more information, go to the Needham Public Schools website, scroll down and click the Pollard Middle School Building Project tab on the left side. The Massachusetts Drought Management Task Force voted to recommend placing the region of the state that includes Needham at a level 1 or mild drought category. Needham is at a level 1 water restriction, which means outdoor watering is only allowed on Sundays before 9 a.m. and after 5 p.m. to minimize evaporative loss. However, handheld watering is allowed 7 days a week. For more information, go to the town website. Time for another break, but don't go anywhere. The CBB will be right back.
Hi everybody, it's Matt Robinson, the host of the Writer's Block here on the Needham channel. It's a local show where we interview authors from all over the place about interesting topics and the process of writing. If you're an author or want to become one, we hope you'll join us on the Needham channel and needhamchannel.org.
Check out the Needham Channel for all the latest news, sports, and events happening around town. Follow the Needham Channel, Needham Channel News, and Needham Channel Sports on Facebook and X. Also, follow the Needham Channel on Instagram and YouTube. Get connected with the Needham Channel on social media. The town clerk's office is now open one Saturday a month through the end of the year as part of a pilot program. The hours are 8:30 until 1 p.m. at Town Hall for all regular business. The remaining Saturdays the town clerk's office will be open are November 8th and December 13th. Make sure you're signed up for the town's 911 system. Residents and businesses will receive emergency alert notifications to their phone, email, or landline for info related to an evacuation, shelter-in-place, protective measures, and much more. Sign up at the Smart 911 website on your screen. Have you checked out our news website, needhamlocal.org? A service of the Needham Channel, Needham Local is part of our foundation to provide local news coverage to the town. You can check out our latest stories at needhamlocal.org, and while you're there, scroll down the right side of the screen and sign up for our weekly newsletter. It sends the top stories of the week every Monday at 1. Would you like to submit an announcement at no cost for the Needham Channel Community Bulletin Board? Interested people and nonprofit organizations can send an email to cbb@needhamchannel.org. Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of the Community Bulletin Board. We'll see you around Needham.